So I have been asked to talk about purpose discovery and business relevance. Purpose is a very technical topic to train on. Many people don't know. Although it's somebody, the word, people have used purpose here and there, and it at some point made purpose to sound as a very simple word. But one of the most difficult things to train on or to coach about is purpose discovery. And it takes a lot of different moving parts and elements to be able to actually teach purpose or train purpose or minister on purpose in a way that people get to find a lot of significance. And before we continue anything, and before I teach you what I think is critical for your purpose discovery and business relevance, I want to categorically state one thing. For you to know the purpose of a thing, you have to go back to the creator. So everything I'm going to teach is going to roam around all of this, but you have to go back to your creator. You have to go back and pray. You have to go back and have an encounter. You have to go back and do something that will give you an established purpose. Not purpose that you are doubting whether is it or not. One of my mentees asked me that, what gave you the effrontery and the audacity to decide that you want to become a trainer and a consultant, and you started all of this since 2011 and you did not give up? Did you start and you were succeeding? And I surprised him that the biggest amount of money I ever had from training was 7 years after. But something kept me going. I always say something, one of the biggest blessings that you can have for yourself is when you clock 25 years and you have discovered your purpose and you have chosen what you will dedicate the rest of your life to do. That's one of the biggest blessings that you can have when you clock 25. If you are above 25 and you have not yet ascertained what you will dedicate the rest of your life to do, that should be one of your primary goals. Anybody who is everywhere will end up being nowhere. I always say one of my biggest blessings for me personally, when I stand on platforms to speak, international platforms in different countries, even within the country, and sometimes they look at my age, they look at the experience I have, they're like, how is that possible? And I will say the biggest blessings I had at the beginning of my life was that I caught my purpose at the very young age, 20 years. I discovered what I want to do with my life at the age of 20. And when I picked up this path of teaching, I just started teaching in evening school. I resigned from a banking job. I got a job at a very early age. I resigned from a banking job to become a business management and marketing teacher in an evening high school. The first day I taught in that school, the peace I had in my heart and the fulfillment I had was better than what I was doing in the bank. Have you ever heard that? I resigned from a banking job to be a teacher in an evening school and was paid less than what I was paid in the bank, but I was happy. Whatever that decision, whatever sponsored that decision, only the Holy Ghost can explain. That's purpose. That's what purpose can make you do. So I want you to follow this session very carefully. I'm going to teach you from experience. I'm going to teach you from my personal experience. I'm going to teach you from experience of coaching other people, both the elderly and the young people, on purpose and passion and being able to be people that can be significant in the society, tapping into their originality and authenticity and creating value that will transcend the human race to another dimension, because you came and you lived your purpose with incredible insight and you were not a mediocre performer. Your life changes immediately you find your passionate purpose and you start to live it. This is the biggest and most important thing that will change your life. The day you discover thy purpose and you start living thy purpose. There are people that discover purpose, but fear holds them from living that purpose. There are many people who know why they are here, but they are not living that why because fear has held them back. Because what people will say has held them back. Because they don't yet understand fully how that purpose is going to manifest, it is holding them back. Discovering is one thing, but living it to a place that can cause significant relevance is another thing. And this session is to teach you how to discover it, what to do that will enable you to be able to function in a unique dimension. When you find and live your passion and purpose, every action you take have a sense of meaning to you, even those around you. This is one sign. If you are still that young person that you take actions anyhow, you have not discovered your purpose. If there is one thing that will keep your action and lifestyle in check, it is your purpose. I always share my testimony about alcohol. The last time alcohol ever touched my mouth was 23rd December 2012. From that day to today, I have never tasted beer nor wine as long as it is alcohol. Do you know why? I sat one time and I asked myself, if I continue drinking this, will I be able to manifest this thing I am passionate about, this purpose that I have in my heart? From that day, automatically, it's changed. I have never stepped foot into a nightclub. I don't sit you have a meeting with me and call in a beer parlor, I'm not going to come. I don't keep late nights. I live alone. I don't keep late night. When it's past 6, I'm still outside, I feel sick. There are some things that automatically, my word is very important. If I tell you yes, is yes. If I tell you I cannot do it. It's beyond doing it because I'm afraid of you. I'm doing it because my purpose challenges me to do that. There's a certain sense of meaning I have towards my life and even those around me. So, after this session, we'll be able to sort out what is it that you want to achieve in your life, what are your dreams, and what makes you happy, which is part of your purpose. People who live a life of purpose have core values, and values that influence their decisions, shape their day-to-day actions, and determine their short and long-term priorities. This is one thing that purpose will do to you. One sign that you have discovered your purpose, that you have certain core values that bind you as a person. What are core values? Core values are core things, very important to your daily lifestyle. Example of my core values are punctuality, hard work, commitment, consistency, kindness, humility. These are core values and core beliefs that are very important to me, that I live them not because I want to please people, but because purpose demands that I practice and live those core values. There are some decisions that I can never do them, not because I am afraid of anybody, but because my purpose influences me never to make that kind of decision. I told somebody one time that there is no day I will ever cheat on my wife. Forget when I'm married. It's not because I'm afraid of her. It's because my core values states that that is not part of my daily living. It's not. Because purpose influences it. So one thing to check that you are living a life of purpose and relevance, check your core values. Check your decision making. Check your day-to-day actions. Check your short-term and your long-term priorities. And one of the best ways I have discovered in my 10 years of coaching people, especially in personal development, is being able to use tools that can open people's minds to be able to take action. And as I'm walking us through this worksheet, I would like you to start doing a self-analysis. Take down notes where you can take them and start seeking answers. One of the things that will push you in discovering your purpose the right way and being relevant in your business or your career is that you become a question asker and an answer seeker. And in your moment of seeking for answers, 2 critical things or 3 critical things will happen. Number 1, you will have to go back to your creator. Number 2, you may have to talk to an experienced person, a mentor, a coach, or a role model. Number 3, you will have to sit and accept self-responsibility for your own self. You have to sit and carry out a thorough self-awareness and decide what you will start doing and what you will stop doing. If you are still there and getting me loud and clear, indicate in the chat box that you are getting some value. Okay, thank you, Jan, for confirming. Good. You know, these telecommunication companies can embarrass us at any time. I needed to be sure that we are following. Okay, good. Let's proceed then. Let's proceed. Now, for you to discover your purpose, there's this worksheet and it has some questions that I challenge you to take time and answer. What do you love doing? Describe specifically what you love doing. Now, let me tell you something. Your purpose is older than you. What you're called to do is way older than you and is lying down somewhere unconscious. And it is your responsibility to find it and wake it up and start manifesting it. And sometimes it could start from you just clearly sitting down, write down what do you love doing. Don't minimize it to 1, 2, 3. Write down everything that comes to your heart that you can remember. What do you love doing? Do you love cleaning the house, for example? There's people that they just love cleanliness. They just love to clean places. Okay, write it down. Do you love to study? Do you love to just sit and write? Do you love to just sit and sing? Do you love to just see somebody smile and happy? Whatever that you love to do, write it down. Take time and write it down. That is also a self-awareness moment. That is also something that maybe after your prayers, the Holy Spirit can start directing you on some things that you are not paying attention to, which are critical in you discovering your purpose. Sometimes I'll give this exercise to somebody and after they go to say, I don't really know what I love. But that's one sign that you don't know thyself. Many people, anybody who is serious about life, you know yourself and you know what you love and what you hate. So sit down and do all of this right up. It's going to help you powerfully to understand what you need to do as far as your purpose is concerned. The second one is, what am I good at? What are you good at? Now, what you love is different, but what you're good at is different. You can love something, but you are not good at it. And you can be good at something and you don't love it. You know, there are people that their purpose, they don't love their purpose. They even receive a prophetic direction that this is what you are born to do, and they are refusing it. They hate it. They're loving but something different. And maybe they are good at their purpose, but they are running away from it and loving something that is not their purpose. So it can be very tricky. Another purpose needs a lot of dedication, time, training, coaching, mentorship, and guidance for you to finally discover it and manifest it to the full. Yes, me personally, I discovered my purpose at an early age, but it took me 4 to 5 years to fully understand it and manifest it in a higher dimension. What are you good at? This could be things that maybe you have learned them. You have been trained to do. Maybe what you studied in school or whatever. Or maybe what a friend taught you or what an uncle taught you. And you are good at it. Okay, write it down. Write it down. After that, you look at, what can I be paid for? What can I be paid for? This is now more of your competence. This is now something that is very significant in terms of what you can create significant value and you can get paid for. I am one of those who believe in the school of thought that I don't believe in a purposeful poor person. I believe that your purpose should be able to create impact for a group of people and should be able to feed you, help you make a living. And one thing about purpose that we need to start accepting is that purpose needs money to manifest fully. Purpose on its own is useless. You'll be very purposeful, but you cannot impact anybody's life. Some of the most powerful, purposeful human beings who have been able to create significant impact have been able to find a way to monetize their purpose, use the money and create more impact in the society. But we're not yet there. We're talking what can you be paid for? And it's possible that what you're good at can be what you can be paid for. It's also possible that what you love, you can be paid for it. And here you may notice that there are things that you are good at, there are things that you love, but you have not developed them into competence and skills that can prompt people to pay you for. For example, you may actually love to talk, for example, and you are good when it comes to being fluent. But you love to talk, good. You are fluent when you speak. People like to enjoy you speak, but that doesn't mean you are competent. Being fluent is not a skill; it's just a gift. You get a point? Now you cannot go a step ahead and study maybe digital marketing, and study business analysis, study business intelligence, study sales, study something that is study a skill that you can now merge into what you're good at in being fluent, and you can now start charging a group of people for the service that you render to them. Remember, the aim is, this is discovery. When they say purpose discovery, it means you are putting your hands here and there. And that's why nobody discovers their purpose overnight. And nobody fully understands their purpose in 1 month. Then you have not truly you have not truly diagnosed it well. What the people I've been able to talk to about purpose, some will tell you it took me 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, even 10 years to fully understand what my purpose is. Me personally, it took me 4 to 6 years to fully understand all of these things that I'm doing now like this. I'm able to build an impactful model out of it and use. So that's why you have to spend time and do all of this. You have to spend time and complete these worksheets, because it is the process of discovery which will now take you to where you finally say, aha, that eureka moment, that aha, this is it. This is it. I found it. And sometimes many people get to discover purpose by trying many things. Oh yes. Like me, of course, I've tried many things. I remember in 2014, I tried an insurance company for Okada, and it failed. I lost money in that stuff. I tried to do detergent like Omo, right, to parcel Omo and resell. It failed. I tried to do paper bags. I left Kumbu, came and learned paper bags, how to do paper bags. That year, that Cameroon government banned plastic papers. I came and learned how to do paper bags. Went to Kumbu, it failed. Right. So I've tried many. I have experience in failing in different things. And that was the discovery part that took me into understanding what I'm truly called to do, why I am here for. And I am doing it, I am succeeding it so well, the impact is there, and it's able to put food on my table. Into what I call making money, monetizing it. What can you be paid for? Describe specifically your competence. And let me tell you, purpose will struggle without competence. It is one thing to be purposeful, and it is another thing to be competent to execute your purpose. Yes, my purpose is called to business people. My purpose is in the marketplace, business people and careers. That is my purpose. But that's one thing. If I don't have the competence to get the job done in the marketplace, that purpose is totally useless. And that's why your competence is very important. If you are lacking here, you need to start building competence, start building capacity to get to that dimension. What the world needs. Describe specifically the problems or the needs in the world that you can meet. Now, here is somebody. Your purpose is not for you. Your purpose is not anything that is for you. You can call it your personal ambitions. Every purpose is for a group of people, not you. It's for you to release it, manifest it, and take a group of people to another dimension of living because they encountered you. That is your purpose. It's for a group of people. Okay? And then you need to create time. What does the society need that you can meet? That you can use what you love, you can use what you're good at, you can use your competence and begin to solve that particular, begin to meet that particular need in a society. Begin to write it down. What is it that the society needs that you can meet? You can use what you love. You can use what you're good at. You can use your competence and meet that particular need. What is that? Write it down. They can be 4 or 5. Just write it down. Your job is just to write. Just write what the society needs that you're discovering that you're called towards that. Like, for example, if you love to see happy marriages, right? For example, and maybe you're good at counseling, you're competent in counseling, you have studied counseling. Oh, the society needs healthy marriages. There are a lot of divorces, and young people are divorcing. They get married today, they divorce on Sunday. That's what the society needs. You see, you cannot look at, okay, but I love to see happy couples. I have counseling skills. People are divorcing every Sunday and every Monday after they get married on Saturday. How can I start bringing some balance into this? That could be your purpose. That could be your purpose. Or you can even discover that you lack the competence. Oh, I love to see happy couples. I love to see strong families. Okay, good. People barely find the right way to build strong marriages nowadays. Social media is destroying marriages. Television is destroying marriages. Dishonesty and lack of commitment and careers are destroying marriages. Okay, I love happy couples. I have seen what the society needs. Now I don't have the competence to get it done. Okay, go to school and study psychology. Go to school and study relationship. Go to school and master the art of counseling and coaching. You get the process. And that is how you get to discover the purpose that you have been called for. So create time, just write. What does the world needs that you can make? And we all have it here. Everybody here. I don't care whether you're tall, short, fat, big, primary school, secondary school, you did not go to school, you have a PhD. Everybody has something in the society that they can meet. It could be for individuals, it could be for institutions, it could be for the big, small, young people, big people, elderly people, kids. We all have that need that we can meet in the society. You have to go on a journey and find yours. I went on a journey and find mine. And I'm sure if you talk to Coach Steele, he's going to tell you that he found his. You've got to find something, people. You've got to find something. Okay, so let's quickly round up. Now, what problems do I want to help solve? This is the second sheet right now. Right? These are more specific now. Right? What problems do I want to help solve? Write the problems down. We all have passions and we all hate different types of things in society. There are some people that they just hate to see people having accidents carelessly. That could be maybe a cult, maybe a purpose is around that particular direction. There are some people that they just hate, like one of my mentees. She hates to see a student performing poorly in school. She doesn't like it. She hates to see that. She hates to see poor performance among young kids in secondary school and primary school. She hates it. And now she's doing a lot of work in that dimension. I have another lady, she's in the north right now. She doesn't like to see an elderly person suffer. She doesn't like to see an elderly person struggling. She set up an organization, something for the elderly people, and now for about 4 years, she's doing incredible work serving the elderly community. She's so excited doing it. She's so driven doing it, so dedicated doing it. We all have that thing. Some of you, it could not be individuals, it could not be a group of people, it could be in an institution. Yes, people are called. There are some people that their job is to enable visionaries to perform. Yes, you can be called to enable visionaries to execute ideas and build up sustainable institutions. What problems do you want to solve? List them down. As long as they're coming to your mind, your job, you are in a discovery journey. You are not in a perfection journey. Just as your mind is giving you, as your spirit is giving you, begin to write it down. Who do I want to help? Yeah. Who do I want to help? Describe specifically the group of people you want to help. As I said earlier, every purpose is for a group of people. And there is nobody who is called for the whole universe. If you are called for the whole universe, what do you want us to do now? Right? Yeah. Everybody has a group of people that they are so driven towards. Like I also, for example, if you put me in a primary school, I will not know what to say. I don't know how to relate with kids. I don't have that calling. They are not my target market. Right? If you put me to, like I always tell some people, if you have a relationship problem and you come to me that should counsel you, I will just say, I say, go and dump her or dump him. I don't know how to do it. And you just tell me something I don't understand, and man, just let it be. Right? But bring me a business problem. Bring me a career issue. If it is 2 nights no sleep, we will solve it. Like many of my clients will just call me, Joybert, there's a problem. I say, we'll solve it. Oh. We are anointed enough to solve any business problem. They will start laughing. And that's the truth. Since I've started doing business consulting for 10 years today, there is no business challenge that I've brought before me and I've not been able to solve it. Country to country, different economies, different companies, tech, agriculture, different dimensions. Small, big, billion francs companies, $1 billion, billion naira companies, small companies of 50,000, 100,000 francs capital. I will solve it. Nothing spoiled. I will solve it excellently and nothing spoiled. When you bring another thing, I'll struggle. I will not know what to do with it. Because that is not me. That's not my target group of people. That's why I want to have a purpose, that when you discover a purpose, that you stop being jealous. Because you know who, when something comes to you, you freely recommend, you freely push to this person. No, get to this guy, he's going to do it better than me. Like I do that severally to many of my colleagues. Reach out to me and say, sorry, I can't do that. Get this guy to do it. He's going to do it for you. You stop being one side that you have not discovered your purpose, that you are jealous of people in your sector. Their success aches you. Then something is wrong with you. You have not discovered your own purpose. Who do you want to help as a person? Is it institutions? Is it women, men, youth, elderly, kids, widows, orphans, street kids, whatever? You are called to a group of people. How do you want to help? Describe specifically the process or the strategy you will use to help them. Knowing who you want to help is one thing, but having a strategy, having a process to help them is part of purpose. That's why purpose that you don't execute, purpose that has no process is not significant purpose. It's not an impactful purpose. Because your purpose will only create impact when there is a process for execution, when there is a strategy to carry out that purpose and affect the group of people in a positive way. And this is where skills and knowledge and education comes in, coaching, consulting comes in, to teach you, oh, this is the process. This is the step-by-step process. This is the action plan. This is a strategy you can go through to be able to manifest thy purpose. You have to create time and do that. How will my business or career improve people's lives? This is about purpose, discovery, and business relevance. Let me tell you something. If you want your business to be consistently relevant, if you want your career to be consistently relevant years after years, decade after decade, master the art of improving people's life. And master the art of upgrading yourself, upskilling, reskilling yourself in order to catch up with the changes in customers' buying behavior, changes in human needs, so you can always remain relevant. There's a course I have on how to conquer irrelevance. See, it's one thing to discover your purpose, and it is another thing to remain relevant consistently 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and you are still recognized as a relevant expert, as a relevant thought leader in that sector. For your business to be relevant, you have to master the art, you have to understand how your business improves people's lives. Any business that have gone out of business or become irrelevant messed up in understanding how to improve people's lives. Or they were kicked out by another business who mastered the art of improving people's life faster than them. How will your business change lives? This is the biggest answer to business relevance. The biggest question to business relevance. How will your career change lives? Until you have a framework, until you have a process to be able to do this, something is still missing in your purpose journey. Therefore, it is your responsibility to create a life filled with a crazy deep sense of purpose, sustainable happiness, and even make money out of it. That is your responsibility. And it's going to take you time. It's going to take you sacrifice. You may have to even pay for a service to understand this deeply in a particular dimension. But know that it is your responsibility. Your success will not just happen to you. Some of you may have to fast and pray for days. That is your responsibility. And seek and understand your purpose. You may have to study more, buy books and study. You may have to attend more trainings. You may have to book one-on-one coaching with Coach Till or whoever that can help you. That is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to acquire the skills that you need to build the mental capacity that you need to manifest your purpose. That is your responsibility. And you have to get to work to make sure that it happens. I have a second slide to teach you about something briefly, and then I can take questions. Are you still there? Are you getting some value? If you are there and getting value, indicate in the chat box that you are still following the session. Are you blessed? Are you being challenged? Are you being lifted in another dimension? Is it worth it? Is it worth it for you to spare 1 hour plus of your evening to be here? Is it worth it so far? Okay, so I want to teach you something I developed called the framework to serve with your purpose. This key number, this is a whole 80-something training slide for I've designed on living a life of significance and dominance. That's why I say I'm going to teach you just key 14. So in a master class I have on living a life of significance and dominance, key 14, S and D stand for significance and dominance. Key 14 talks about the framework to serve with your purpose. There are people that have discovered their purpose. There are people that they know their purpose, but they don't know how to serve with their purpose. They are totally lost on how to serve with their purpose. There is a framework. I've looked at my own life. I said, how did I do it? How did others do it? And I've developed this. I get to travel from country to country, company to company. Trust me, I just live my purpose. I just live it. But I mastered how to serve with it. How to use it and serve the society, serve businessmen, serve executives, serve professionals. That makes me highly sought after. There's a framework. So discovering the purpose is one thing, but manifesting it, serving with it, serving people with it is another thing. So this is the framework. Element number 1 in this framework talks about identify and understand whom you are to serve. Identify and understand whom you are to serve. This is based on the assumption that you have already discovered your purpose. So for you to be relevant in your business or career, you have to know how to serve with your purpose. And the first element in this framework is identify. Who are you to serve with your purpose? Go to the field and identify. Look at yourself. Who am I called to serve? Identify. Know your target group of people. Know them carefully. Don't guesswork. Don't assume. Have some level of peace in your heart that these are the people you are called to serve. Let me tell you, I receive a lot of speaking engagements. A lot. Sometimes in a week I receive like 10. And there are some I reject. No, and they are paying well. I reject because they are not my target market. They are not my purpose market. They are not. And if I go there, I'm going to mess up. If I go there because of money, the excellence of teaching and training will be messed up. It will not be impactful. My words will not speak to the right heart. They will not feel it. They will not understand it. They will not enjoy it. There will not be any transformation. You identify that you need to understand. There is no way you can serve a people you don't understand. If you are called to serve street kids with your purpose, you have to understand how street kids think. Buy books that talk about the psychology of street kids. Go to Aqua, go to Post Central in Yaoundé, sit there the whole day, observe how these kids behave on the street, observe how they talk, observe how they behave with each other, observe how they look at strangers, observe how they sound, observe what they do when they are sick, observe how they analyze things, observe how they react to the police, observe everything. You have to understand them before you can serve them. That's why I always say, if you are called to business people, you have to run a business. Run a business that has goods and services. Then you will serve them better. The most inadequate and poorly performing consultants and business coaches around the world, especially across Africa, are people that are trying to do business coaching and consulting with no business, because they don't even understand anything they're reading about systems and strategy and operations and product design and all of that. It is theory. They have not manifested in their own business. So the way they serve is not excellent. It's not valuable. It's not deep. When they talk, they sound very superficial because they're talking about things that even others have read in their books. The books that they bought. There was one part I was laughing at me one time here in this Douala. He hired one young guy who was a certified consultant, and the guy came and was to teach his team about some things about operations and building a distribution system. So the guy went and read the book that part had been reading that book, trying to solve his own problem. And so the boy came and was teaching word for word what is in that book. The man was so disappointed. He said, no, I need somebody who understands this deep. Somebody who has done this, who has solved the problems practically. And how do you do that? Build your own stuff. And people are going to trust you because you have produced results in that area. Number 2, develop a practical system on how you can serve them. Develop a practical system on how you can serve them. For example, Coach Steele said that, okay, there are this group of young people that I need to serve them. Okay, that is good. My purpose is to serve these young people. Okay, that is good. But how do I serve these young people? Okay, number 1, the system is that I'm going to design flyers to promote the program. Number 2, I'm going to design the curriculum of the program. Number 3, I'm going to look for experts and invite them like Joybert, like Teke Samuel, like whoever he has invited to come and speak to you guys. Number 4, we're going to use WhatsApp group to mobilize. Number 5, we're going to use the Zoom session to begin to teach them, like so that the trainers can connect from different areas and teach them. Number 6, we're going to record. Number 7, we're going to reshare. Number 8, we're going to have a debriefing session to ask questions. What did you learn from Mr. Joybert's session? Was it impactful? What are you going to practice? Develop a practical system on how you are going to serve them. Stop carrying purpose in your head. I am purposeful. Purpose with nothing to show for. It is systems that execute purpose. It is practical systems that get purpose off your head on the ground and create impact in the lives of people. That's the second element in this framework on how to serve with purpose. We have to round up now. Number 3, the third element, build an action plan. Build an action plan with deadlines. Yes, every purpose you have an action plan with deadline. Like when Coach T reached out to me, I'm sure one of the first or second question I asked him, when do you want this to happen? Give me date and time. You cannot reach out to me and I tell you, please wait, let me go and check. I'll never have your time again. Because before you come, you must have filled that date already with another activity. You cannot say that you have purpose without an action plan with deadlines. Have an action plan. If part of your purpose requires you to go back to school, have on your action plan, October 2022, I am starting my master's degree program. And this is what I'm finishing. It seems like all of that, like what Coach Chill is doing with this program right now. There are dates for everything. There's dates for every speaker. There's a time for every speaker. Your purpose will be aimless, useless, just everywhere with no action plan that coordinates the activities. Don't just say, I am purposeful. And so what? Discovering purpose is not that powerful. It is purpose manifestation towards a group of people with a practical system and strategy with action plan that creates significant value and impact in the community. Number 4 is build authority and trust. Build authority and what? And trust. Let me tell you something about purpose here. Because you prayed and God gave you purpose doesn't mean that people will trust you. It is your responsibility to build authority in that field and trust, so that when you open your mouth and speak, they will believe you. Let me tell you, the only reason that, how many of you are in this Zoom class right now? The only that 17 of you have created time, you have bought internet data, you are sitting where you are, listening to me right now, is because you trust me. It's because you trust Coach Teal that this program is important. It's because you believe in the authority that we have over you as per this particular session. If you did not trust us, if we do not have authority in our respective fields and live our purpose with authority, trust, and confidence, you will not be here. You have better things to do. There's the African Nation Cup going on. You should not go and be watching football. You should be eating right now. You should be watching a movie. You should be doing something with your life right now, but you are here. Have you not seen other programs and you ignored? There's some program you saw and you ignored, you did not attend, right? What made you choose this one? Or what made you choose other programs without choosing other ones? Because there's something that sponsored your decision. There was some level of trust for the person organizing it. There was some level of authority that the person organizing commanded that made you to say, oh, you know what? I trust this person based on what they can do in my life. The only reason you're part of this program is because you believe, or you're listening to me right now is because you believe that I have the authority in terms of knowledge and skills to contribute to where you're going to build to build that bridge, to build that platform that can bridge that big gap that's blocking you from your next level success and manifestation. Nobody will trust you because you have purpose. You have to build it. You have to produce results. You have to sound competent. You have to talk with confidence. You have to carry yourself well. You have to start from small. You have to build things from your level. One of the best ways to build authority and trust is start small and record small results. When they ask you, what have you done? Don't say that I am planning to. Say, this is I have been doing this for the past 3 months. That is a statement of authority and trust. There are some people when you talk to them, I am planning to, I will. I will doesn't build trust. I will doesn't build authority. It is, I have done this last week. I have been here. What you have done, portray what you have done. It starts building your authority. Invest and build your authority. Check your brand. What is the kind of personality that you carry around the community? When people look at you, when they see you, what are the kind of things people say about you when you are not in the same room with them? Avoid that thing that people say, I don't care what people think about me. You care. What people think about you can close your doors. What people think and say about you can lock your doors forever, and you blame village people for nothing. Meanwhile, they are your closest friends. How you behave builds your authority and trust. How you speak builds authority and trust. If I came here and I do this, I say, please, I am sorry. I'm only apologizing. Some people, when they give them the platform to talk, they'll apologize. I am sorry. I don't have much to say. I am sorry. I don't know much about the topic. I am sorry. And then their body language is like somebody who's planning to die in 2 weeks. Or like one native doctor in Nigerian film, they are just there. The charisma is not there. The confidence is not there. The body language is not there. The excitement, nothing is there. You don't build authority and trust like that. Competence also builds authority and trust. Build the right knowledge, competence, and skills around that area of purpose. That is your responsibility, people. And if you're able to master these 4 elements, you'll be able to serve with your purpose excellently without having any challenges. So that is it for today for me, everybody. We can take questions. It was supposed to be a 45-minute session, if I remember correctly, and a good speaker uses exactly that time or less. All right, people, questions for me, I can handle them now.
Wow, Dr. Jav.
My hero is my mom. My hero is my mom. This woman, why is she my hero? This woman moved heaven and earth to lay my foundation. You know, I am one of those kids that always born out of wedlock. Like, I don't really know my dad, right? So, and he was never there till today. I've never seen him. I've seen him once. I looked for him when I got my first job, but he never had my time. We spoke once. He took my number. He has never called me to today. But since I was born till that, at that age, I have never known my dad per se. So, but I tried to look for him, use my research, pay some investigators, and we found him, but he didn't have time. Very man, right? But again, but my mom, she could barely see me through school. But my mom made sure that no matter what, I would have advanced level. My mom would borrow money. She would go heaven and earth to make sure I stay in school. If I did not finish advanced level, I would not be where I am today. She made sure that she gave me like worst case scenario, I should have advanced level. That was her mission. And she taught me there are some values I have never stolen in my life, because my mom told me, because we lack doesn't give you the audacity to be a thief. Right? She gave me strong values. I don't practice late nights till today, because in our house, you come back to the house after 6 p.m. When did that one start? You will explain where you know that time our parents will say, me and you can wear one trouser today now. The day my mom says that to you, the day she says that to you, no, so you don't bad. You get the point? And she was strong, disciplined, and powerful, and she gave me the right foundations. Till today, I have never left the church. I can count the days I've never been to church since I was born. I can count the days I've never been to church. Till today, I go to church on Wednesdays, Bible studies, Friday prayer meetings, and Sunday service. Because that is the value that she instilled in me since I was born. I grew up in a Christian family. You get the point? So that alone is the foundation. Yes, I have role models that I look up to and I celebrate them. But when it comes to somebody that when I look at my life and look at the things that she laid, it made me who I am today.
Okay, sir. Thanks very much.
Next question.
So now for the next question, I want to ask, what is your biggest fear to the society?
My biggest fear in the you mean like for the society, or my fear as a person? Let me understand you well.
Your fear as a person. Let's go there first.
Okay, my fear as a person is not to fully maximize the potentials that God has given me. That I go and I reach that old age when I've not fully done what I'm supposed to do, and I get tired. And that's why I am a rugged hard worker. That one I know. I work 16 hours every day for 10 years today. Get a point? I can count days in the last 10 years that 3 a.m. meets me in bed. Right? So I'm a very hard worker, because and every day God keeps revealing to me my potentials. That's what I was telling my mentor a few days back when he came to the office. I was saying, I'm very grateful for a lot of things, because when I look at the things I do today, I am not qualified to do them based on my background. But based on how far I'm very, very grateful. And I like to push myself every day, because I want to make sure that all this potential that I keep seeing, that I carry, and God keep revealing to me, I don't want to carry them to the grave. That's my greatest fear. I want to release all of them. I want to create. I want to build. I want to stretch. I want to disrupt. That's my greatest fear, and that's why I always say that I want to live this life in such a way that if at the end of this life I am a failure, I want to fail on my own terms. You understand? I want to fail on my own terms.
Yeah.
I want to fail, and I look failure eyeball to eyeball. I say, failure, look, although you made me fail, but I failed on my own terms. I did not allow sleep to control me. Sleep did not make me fail. I did not allow laziness, bad habits, bad friends, bad company, bad hangouts. I did not allow poor way of studying and reading make me to fail. I will study hard. I will beat sleep. I will go to bed at 11 p.m., wake up at 3 a.m. for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. I will work 16 hours every day. I will be the hardest worker in the room. And if at the end of this I failed, fear I failed on my own terms. Some people will fail not on their own terms. They'll fail on the terms of bad habits, on the terms of bad character, on the terms of sleep, on the terms of whatever you can think about, but I want to fail on my own terms.
Persons are able to may or may have discovered your purpose, but they have certain barriers, for instance, financial barriers. Maybe you have I have a road map on how I can actually attain competence to manifest my purpose. But because of financial barrier, I cannot actually get to that particular state as soon as possible. So I want to find out, Doctor, if there are actually some strategies that one can use to actually move from one level to another to attain competence in order to manifest his or her purpose.
As simple, start small. You already answered their question. Move from one level to another. The one challenge is that people like to start from the top. You get the point? Start from the beginning. See, like I always say, if you're an entrepreneur and you complain that money is a challenge for you to start something, you are not an entrepreneur. In business, you don't need external money to start a business. You need external money to grow a business. I don't trust anybody who is looking at starting something and is not able to start because of money. I don't have any trust, and I cannot put my money on you. And a real investor never gives money to an idea. They give money to something that has proven track record. You understand? So find a way to start small. Every purpose has a small way you can start. Yes, there's always that corner where you can start small and start evolving from there and even start bootstrapping. Bootstrapping in entrepreneurship means that you take the small money you make from that initiative, you put it back into the initiative to scale it up to the next level. You understand? Like, for example, I was passionate about teaching young people and all of that. Okay, I started by going to ask for to teach in an evening school. But before that, I used to gather young people in church and I teach. It costed me nothing. Just talk to the pastor and get space and start using it. I used to go to Njangi groups. I would trek and go to Njangi groups and begin to teach people. There's no village in Bui division and even some Momo division that I have not gone to. I can show you pictures. You understand? Start small.
Yes, Doctor.
So there's always a small way to start. Stop looking to start.
Doctor, silence means he has understood.
Nobody starts big. Let me this to everybody. If you have anything in your mind and money is your challenge to start,
I want to assume
go
that
and
it's
repent.
fair, even though maybe Doctor has some connection issues. Madam Vanessa Itara Bende, when Doctor comes back, you are next.
Are you getting me?
Yes, Doctor, I'm getting you.
Jesse's hand was up, and then Diane, and then
That's a fact. Some things just irritate you. You can even use time and your money to do things the right way. That's one thing with purposeful people. Okay, so when you see that, somebody always say that the storm and the wind and a strong wind is an opportunity for the eagle to display its competence and power. Right? So when you see that kind of challenge, that is an opportunity for you to display your competence and power. Right? Like I've gone to places and trying to do an event and I'm messing up and I help to organize, okay, do this, draw the agenda like this, do this and do this. And sometimes I end up speaking. Like for example, when I started my career in speaking, I used to, when I see somebody who has an event, I'll go and beg to speak in that event. Sometimes they will refuse. And so when they refuse, I'll hang around and provide support the way, maybe the sound, maybe the projector, or since I used to know how to deal with computers and digital, this, I will provide service there and bring some organization. And that's how they got to know me, and they started giving me opportunities when the need arises, right? So it's an opportunity for you to display where competent people shine when there's disorganization, when there's mediocrity, when there's low performance. That is when you get to shine as a high performer and a productive person. All right?
Yeah. Thank you, Doc.
Okay. Yes, next person. Who is next? Diane, is that you? Are you next?
Good evening, Doctor.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, Doctor. First, I would like to thank you for the wonderful talk. I'm so grateful. I have two questions.
Okay, shoot.
The first question is, what if you get to identify what the society needs, which you know you can meet up to, but your target audience, those you are targeting, or rather the society themselves, seems so reluctant to what you can offer?
Yeah.
What can you do in that case?
That is very, let me first of all just break your heart. Yeah, that's very normal. You're going to find that very normal. Now, you know that many a times, so for many of us, our purpose will not be something that people are used to, right? That's why there are some purpose that you will need to be a disruptor. You will need to be a very good storyteller. You need to be somebody that can convince people to see that they need the value that you carry. It's the same like this. When I started speaking in 2011 and 12 and all of that and doing business consulting, many people did not believe that they need a business consultant. You understand? Even to today, there are businesses that don't believe that they need our services. They don't believe that we are relevant. But we need to keep on disrupting their thinking. It is your responsibility to disrupt their thinking, disrupt their process, create exceptional value, give them to try and test. Because when people are rejecting you, they have an alternative. So it's your responsibility to develop your own value that can become better than the alternative they have. Then they will see a need to start using what you have created for them. So you need to be rugged and driven and committed and try to penetrate the market and disrupt old systems and start introducing your new ways of doing things. They will accept you. So that is not a challenge. It's an opportunity for you to create a legacy and build a blueprint that others can follow after you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good.
My second question is, along the line of you discovering your purpose and actually fulfilling or meeting up with your purpose,
yes,
it's very normal you get to meet fear. So how do you overcome this fear?
Yeah, fear is normal. Till today, I still get afraid, right? But fear, the day you start having fear, you are not a human being again. You will always have fear, will always be there.
Recording in progress.
But let me tell you something about fear. You conquer fear with two things: faith and action. Faith and action. You take faith and action. You always conquer fear. If fear, as somebody always says, fear means that forget everything and run, forget your dreams and run, forget your destiny and run, or face everything and rise. Fear will be there, Diane, but you need to rise up to that fear. You need to stand and look that fear eyeball to eyeball and say, hey, you look fear. I am going to do this. And if I mess up, I'm going to mess up and learn. If I fail, I'm going to fail and learn. I'm going to do better next time. And let me tell you something about fear. Fear many a times is just an emotions. And here's how I conquer fear many a times. When I want to do something I'm afraid, I take a pen and a paper and I draw two lines. On the right, I write the best case scenario. On the left, I write the worst case scenario. On the right means that I'll ask myself, if I go through with this thing, how will my life be different? What is the best case scenario? I begin to write how my life will change if I improve, if I get this thing done. If I go with this thing, if I fail, what is the worst case scenario? And at the end, I will discover that the only thing I will lose is money. Let me tell you something. If you want to embark on something, and the only thing that you lose is money, you have not lost anything. But you're going to learn incredible lessons that will transform you for the rest of your life. Do you get the point?
Yes, sir.
So till today, I still face fear. There are big projects I embark on, I'm still afraid. How is it going to work? But I'll go for it. Faith and action, just bulldoze. If you fail, okay, fail forward. You want to succeed faster, start by failing faster. The highest people that have succeeded, the highest, check their failure history. They have so failed, they are so failed that they have experience at failing. They are so good at failing that they have mastered how to stop failing and they have mastered how to start succeeding. There are some things in business right now that I find it's hard for me to fail because I have gathered enough experience in failing at those things. So before failure is showing an ugly face, I already know, I anticipate, okay, this will happen here and here and here. And I have a plan of action, a plan B for everything to make sure that that doesn't happen. Fear gives you incredible experience that no book will give you. And let me conclude with this. Hear this. You don't read courage and become courageous. You don't read boldness and become bold. You take action to build courage. You take actions to build boldness. You don't read about boldness and expect to become bold. You have to take courageous actions, take bold steps. That's how you build that capacity inside of you and you become a dominant factor in your journey of success. You get a point? Okay, thank you so much, everybody. That's as much I could take. There's a meeting online I need to catch up with. They're already trying to call me. So thank you so much, Coach Till. Thank you so much for having me. And I have to run.